So this press conference is to provide information regarding a homicide that took place in the early morning hours of Saturday, July 25th. In addition, we're asking for the public's assistance in locating the second suspect involved as soon as possible. We'll provide time for a few questions at the end. Again, thanks for coming. I'm going to introduce Lieutenant Matt Stevens, the commander of the Criminal Investigations Unit.
Approximately 12:40 a.m., Columbia Police responded to reports of shots fired in the area of 8th Street and Locust in downtown Columbia. Dispatchers at the Boone County Joint Communication had received multiple calls of a male being shot in the intersection. Officers arrived and immediately learned that one victim, who was later identified as Joseph Hecht, 38, of Sturgeon, had been shot, but had left the scene prior to officers arriving. Officers learned the gunshot victim was taken by a private vehicle to a local hospital for advanced medical care before officers and emergency services were arriving on scene. By Sunday, July 26th, officers learned that the victim was deceased as a result of his injuries, and as more leads developed, we were able to identify two suspects who were involved in the incident. Keeson Tyree McNeil, 23, of Columbia, was arrested on July 26th for second-degree murder and taken into custody of the Boone County Jail. We're actively searching for a second suspect who has been identified as Marlin C. Johnson, 24, of Columbia. He's wanted for second-degree murder and armed criminal action. Our officers and detectives are working together to bring closure to this case and to the victim's family. Johnson is described as a black male who is approximately 5'10", has brown eyes, dreads, tattoos on the left shoulder and his right forearm, and weighs approximately 160 pounds. He's considered armed and dangerous. If anyone knows his whereabouts or sees him, please call 911 immediately or Crime Stoppers at 573-875-TIPS to remain completely anonymous. This investigation is ongoing and is being handled by the Criminal Investigations Division. I will say in relation to Crime Stoppers, so that there is no confusion, Crime Stoppers is 100% anonymous. So anyone that does have information, if you contact Crime Stoppers, please give us very detailed information and as much of that as you possibly can. We do not have a way to follow up and ask more questions or gather further details from that caller. So any information that you have, please make that as detailed as you possibly can for us, so that we do have something to go off of and we can follow up on.
We will not tolerate the acts of those who prey on others. The safety and well-being of our residents is important, and will not stand by and allow senseless acts of gun violence to consume our communities without action. We appreciate the support of everyone who is willing to provide details related to this case and any future cases. That includes our business community, people who were near the location of the shooting. We sincerely appreciate the cooperation that we've received, and it has been very helpful in moving this case forward. With that, we'll take a few questions.
Do you know if is there any indication that that Mr. Hecht ever had any contact with these two suspects prior to his death or his being shot?
At this point, we don't know for certain, so I can't give you a for sure yes or no. There's a whole lot of different angles that we're looking at and different avenues that we're trying to pursue. So I can't say definitively yes or no at this point, but that is something that we are trying to figure out actively through a bunch of different sources. So I can't say for sure yes or no.
So do you know what was the victim was doing at 12:40 a.m. that night?
It seemed like from everything that we could tell, both groups had been downtown, and had been to several different locations. So at 12:40, one group was walking and one group was in a car. And that's really what we know for certain at this point. But both groups have been at different locations throughout downtown.
Do you have reason to believe at this time that Johnson is still in Columbia or the area?
We don't have any reason to believe that he's not specifically. We don't know for sure where he is, like location-wise, whether it's in town or whether it's not. But we don't have any information that says for certain that he either is or that he's not. So at this point, we're widespread and trying to look at every possibility that we have to determine whether we need to, lessen that scope and focus just here in town or whether it's outside of here. But we don't know for sure.
In terms of, is Mr. Johnson someone who's had contact with the police before, and was he wanted on any other warrants or charges at the time that, at this time, in addition to this crime?
I don't know for sure what contact we've had with him previously aside from traffic stops. I know that for certain, but I don't know the extent of it beyond that. And as far as I'm aware of, these are the only warrants that he has right now. But there could be additionals that I'm not aware of because I did not get in and look specifically at what he is currently wanted for. We were just trying to get our piece of it added to his name in the system.